Hi, I'm David Myers. I'll be your instructor for Introduction to Ethics. Welcome. Uh, your textbook is going to be um, the 11th edition of Ethics, Theory and Practice by Jacques Thoreau and Keith Krasman. We've used this book for a long time. In fact, I've been using this book since the 8th edition, and we are now on the 11th edition. That being said, if you have the 10th edition, you're going to be just fine. Probably even the 9th edition, you'll be just fine. But this is the one that I recommend because it is the most current. If you're watching this video, then you're already on D2L. But I would suggest that you follow along with me as we go through some of the things that I expect from you and a course overview. We'll go ahead and you're going to want to open to content. Click on that. And table of contents, you click on that and boom, everything comes up. This video you'll find under course information. There's instructor information and there is the syllabus and schedule. Go ahead and open the syllabus and schedule now. I'll click it with you. Oh, the blazing speed. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. I know I did, but I am excited to get back to work. I'm not going to read the course description. You're more than capable of doing that. I'm not going to read critical thinking or ethical and civic responsibility, but let's look at methods to assess competence. There's required reading, objective examinations. There's a writing project. Yay! I know everybody loves term papers. I'm being facetious. I know that you don't love term papers, but they're fun. Bear with me, we'll talk more about that. Exercises for review, questions, and then discussion boards. Again, this is your textbook. It's available, you can get it online, you can get it on the online bookstore. And again, if you get the 10th or even the 9th edition, you should be okay. If you don't have it yet, never fear. I have copied the first couple of chapters of the textbook here, so you'll be able to look at those while you're waiting for your book to come in. All right, proctor. There are no proctors required for the exams. This means that each of you is on your honor to complete your exams without your notes. It says or any other materials. However, you may use your book. It is open book. But you may not use your notes, and we'll get to why that is. It would just be too easy if you used your notes. Course assignments. First of all, reading. Now, don't turn a reading report in each chapter. Turn one in at the end of the course, but be sure to turn it in. This is worth 10 points. That's 10% of your grade. So if you forget to turn it in spite of the fact that I will be emailing you and emailing you and emailing you, if you forget to turn it in, that's a whole letter grade. And so all it is a sentence that says, I, in this case, David Myers, I, David Myers, have completed 100% of the reading. If you have completed 100%. If you haven't, put the percentage of the reading that you've completed. But bear in mind, what you see is what you get. If you tell me you completed 20% of the reading, you get 2 points. There you have it. But do at the end of the course, and I will go over the dates momentarily. Discussion board is worth 15% of your grade, 5% per section. And so each student will begin a thread for each section and will respond to 2 other threads per section. So that means 3 total posts per section. You may make more, but you can't make less without losing points. Each post is worth 1 point, up to 3 points. And then after that, you get points for reading. You must read all the other points. And there it is. If you don't, I'll know because it pops up on my screen and you'll miss points there. Examinations are worth 30% of the course. Again, 10 points per exam. The exams are hard. The reading is hard. You're going to have to read each section several times. Philosophy does not read smoothly the way other things read. But that being said, since the reading is so hard and the exams are hard, I have written practice exams. The exams are based directly off of the practice exams. So if you take the practice exams over and over and over until you get them all in your noodle, you've aced the exams, and most of my students actually do. But never fear, if you bomb an exam, there is extra credit, and I'll go over that in a couple of minutes. But the exams are difficult. You will need to study for them. Each exam is open for a week. It'll open and close 7 days later, and I'll go over those dates with you when we come up to them. And then discussion questions, question exercises for review. You're going to answer the discussion questions or exercise for review for each chapter, although you only have to choose two questions per chapter. So if there's 10, don't worry about it. Choose two. So for section 1, you're going to, there'll be 2 questions from chapter 1, 2 questions from chapter 2, 2 questions from chapter 3, 2 questions from chapter 4. And your syllabus breaks down the page numbers for the latest edition. You're going to have to figure that out if you're using, an older edition. But, so that's 8 questions. And please, when you answer these, they need to be insightful. You can't write 1 to 2 sentences and get by. You need several paragraphs per question. Double space them, turn them all in one document in the appropriate Dropbox, and voila, each assignment is worth 5 points. And then the writing project is worth 30% of your grade. You are going to write a term paper on an ethical topic, something that's covered in the class or not, something that interests you. I have found that students do better if they are writing on something that they are interested in, something ethical, something philosophical in nature. And so it's going to be, 7 to 9 pages in length of content. That doesn't count the title page, the works cited page, or the abstract. You're going to write this in APA format. I've linked to some sites that will help you, and we'll talk more about that when I get specifically to the paper. This paper is due to March, on the 2nd of March. This is an accelerated course. You're going to have to bust tuchus to keep up with the reading. That being said, you don't have to master the reading. You just have to do the reading. I've got lectures for each chapter, and you could click on those lectures, and hopefully I explain the chapter fairly well. If not, bring it up on the discussion board if you have questions. I read these things every day, and I'll get back to you. The other thing is, don't get behind, but if you're starting to feel overwhelmed, give me a call. My number's at the top of the syllabus. Call me. Don't hesitate. Usually when a student calls, they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to bother you." Don't be. My time is your time. I have a job because I have students. Don't hesitate to call. Now, that being said, I'm an old man. I go to bed about 9:15 at night. So I'll take your call all day up to about 9:15. If you call me after that, I may be a little cranky. Sundays up to about 12:30, I'm in church. And so call me after 12:30. But any other time, all day Saturday, my time is your time. You must, back to the paper, you must turn one in or you fail the course. That's the way that it goes, regardless of how well you've done on everything else. Grades A, B, C, D, F. A is 100 all the way down to 90. You can figure the rest of that out. The schedule. The exam opens, the first exam opens 26 January, and it's open through 2 February. It covers 1, 2, 3, and 4. The second exam is open 9 through 16 February, and the third exam 23 February through 2 March. The book has 16 chapters. You're only responsible for 12. Reading assignments. You will have read chapters 1 through 4 and finished your discussion questions by 2 February. And the discussion boards close at midnight that day. And 16 February for section 2 and 2 March for section 3, as well as your term paper being due at that time. Now, as I said, you could call me if you have any questions, any concerns, but I do ask one thing. Go over D2L before you call me. If you go over D2L carefully, it will answer almost every question that you have. For instance, click on materials, click on content, click on table of contents again, and everything pops up. You get assignment information. Click on it. Instructions for the exercises in review. Instructions for the term paper. Instruction for discussion board. Instructions for exams. Instructions for required reading and extra credit. It's all there, and most of that, your questions will be answered there. Let's look at the instructions for term paper. Click on that right now. You'll see that it tells you what format you're supposed to use. It gives you all the information. And I've also linked to a couple of, I'm going to change these links though. It's a link to the University of Wisconsin. We now use the Purdue OWL website, and so I'll fix that. But there's even a template there. You know, it'll help you tremendously. Your paper is going to have a title page. You're going to write an abstract, and if you don't know what an abstract is, I've even got an article on how to write a good abstract there. APA formatted paper, opinion paper, but you'll be presenting both sides and then supporting your answer by using some of the foundational systems that you've learned in this course. It's not enough to simply believe something. You need to know why you believe it. And so I expect you to do that in the paper. 11:59, and it says 5 May. I really need to fix this. It's in March. I'll fix this as soon as I get this video put up. Arial or Times New Roman font. No fancy whirligigs or pictures or anything else. Font size 11 or 12. Place it in the appropriate drop box. Let's see, let's go back up to assignments. Let's look at extra credit. The tests are hard, and I have the practice tests, but there's a couple of you statistically that just won't use them, and then you're going to bomb the test and you're going to want to drop the course. Don't. There is extra credit, but this is the kicker. You open your exam up, you look at the questions that you missed, and you correct them. You answer them. A short paragraph, no more, for every question that you missed. Put it in the drop box. If you got a 40 on the exam, I will, and you do the extra credit, I'll raise it all the way up to a 70. Now, I've taught this class for a number of years, and this was designed for those who bomb the test, but experience has shown me that if you bomb the test, you're not going to want to do the extra credit. The people that do the extra credit are, ironically, the people that already have an A on the exam. And they were upset. Well, how come we can't raise our grade? All right. If you get an 80 to a 90, or a 70 to an 80, and you do the extra credit, I'll raise you up to an 80. If you get a 80 through 89 and you do the extra credit, I'll raise you to a 90. If you have a 92, I'll raise you to a 95. If you have a 95, I will not raise your. There's no A pluses in the course. It's an A. And so an A is 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 an A. You don't need to do the extra credit, but it's there, and it's kind of a safety net. If you have time, and this is a big if because this is such an accelerated course, but if you want 5 extra points, say you're at a 75 and you want those 5 extra points, write a what is up with me? Write a synopsis of chapters 13, 14, 15, and 16. This should be between 3 and 5 double-spaced pages. By the way, your paper is double-spaced. Everything that's APA is always double-spaced. But at any rate, discuss the reading in general and turn it in, and I will give you up to 5 extra points for that. There you have it. I think I've talked about everything we need to talk about. If not, shoot me an email. Call me, to quote the immortal Kim Possible. Call me, beep me if you want to reach me. Text me. Whatever it takes, I'll answer your questions. Don't despair. Don't fall behind in the reading, but don't despair. You can do this. If for some reason you are watching this and you decide, oh, it's just too much, but you need the course quickly before the next week, go ahead and shift out and shift into the lecture course. There's room in there, but and that covers the entire semester. But at any rate, you guys have a great day, and looking forward to working with you this semester. Bye-bye.